Hey, I'll chime in whenever I can. I still have work
Do
to
your
do.
thing. Yeah, do
So
your thing. Do your
yeah.
thing. Do your
So
thing.
I might
Try
double.
try try
Yeah.
to try to keep with the conversation. So when you hop in, you're
I
on
can
it and
listen.
shit.
Yeah, I'll be
Yep.
listening. I'll be on. Yep.
Damn, we all in a good mood. I was about to say some disrespectful shit.
Nah. Hey George, how you like your setup?
I love this shit, dog.
Yeah,
Man,
right.
if halfway through the pod I want to stand up, I'm gonna stand up. If I want to go
Ain't
lower, I'll
nice.
go lower. Yeah,
Yeah, hit the shalala. You gonna be cruising down there.
yeah.
Hey, you
That shit
got
makes
a
me
stand mic yet?
frustrated. A standing mic?
A mat?
Well, the one that we have kind of dislocates, so it gets into two pieces.
Oh, okay. So you get
Yeah.
you got that.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah, this thing is clutch too.
that shit low key. I thought about this shit for a long time, and it got me kind of mad. You know why?
Why?
Because there's people like Angel who every desk is a stand-up desk for them, dog.
Then can you chill? Hey, Adrian, the first setup, my guy.
I'm trying to take him. I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to get him.
This is
What up, little
revolutionary
apple?
though. Especially when there's a high, I can literally be under the desk just by standing. It's just crazy.
We'll be
What
on
up, chat?
cams.
What up,
We'll be on
chat?
cams pretty soon.
We see y'all. What up, chat? What up, Adrian? What up, Glenn? Lil Apple. ACB Bananas Liquid Lounge. Damn. Hey, what happened to the taco people from there in the back? They had some fire quesadilla.
Sheesh.
Yeah, those shits were bomb. I forgot about that. Good shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Man, I had some good times. Nah, fuck. Nah, I ain't gonna thank myself, but yeah, good times.
Yeah, just say good times. That's it, baby.
Good times. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Hey, y'all catching F1 this season or not? I've been following.
Yes, sir. Of course I have. Hey, what's up with your team, dog? What's up? Talk to me.
Rari, dog, Rari's in the mud, son. I don't know. I have no. Man, I don't know how to explain it, dog. Like,
I don't
Sainz is
know.
off a cliff, son. Like, I don't know what's going on with him.
It's all right.
And-
Aston Martin took that third place. Right now they're looking second.
I'm saying, man, and what's his name? Oh man, fucking
Bro, he still got it though. He just needed a quick pass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Alonso?
Alonso, man, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Man's nice with drive too. That's tight, man. I want to do this shit.
Aston Martin looking nice, and Alonso.
Yeah, man.
Did he still get third with the penalty with the 5 second
They gave
penalty?
it back to him.
Yeah.
Yep. Yo, we're running F122 with some of the boys, some of the outlaws, Manny and us. We're gonna be streaming that too, so you can watch us not complete a race and play safety car simulator. That's gonna be on Twitch. That's gonna be fun.
Hey,
too,
let's talk about safety car, Doug.
Let's talk about
I had no idea that the safety
hold up. Okay,
I'm not attacking you yet. I'm not attacking you yet.
Right,
the purpose of the safety car is for people to stay safe. Once the safety car comes out, 3 other cars DNF for us. It makes complete zero fucking sense.
I mean, no lie. Every single fucking safety car gets extended because there's always like a deployment of another, or what would be a deployment of another safety car. No, but let's talk about something real quick. I know we're gonna get the show starting in about 4 minutes right now. But let's talk about this cap you've been throwing out about me hitting you or rear-ending you behind the safety car, dog. Come on, that's all a lie. I didn't touch everyone at all.
Within the safety car, for some reason, there's 30 feet. And then when we get to a turn, everyone gets within a foot of each other. Everyone's announcing, I'm braking. Everyone's just saying, all you hear on the comms is brake. I say I'm braking. I'm braking, and then all of a sudden I feel my neck moves too from how hard Rudy hit me, dog.
Nah, and then that's cap though, because I'm right. I'm to your right. Like I go off track. I go off track in that turn, and then that's why when you're yelling at me, I'm not even next. I'm not even behind you yet. Because I'm off track, son.
The worst part is that he crashes me into Derek's metallic ass leg, and then that's the end of my car, dog. That was the end of my car, dog. That was the end of my shit.
Me and Masa are teammates for this faux league that we got going on.
How'd you guys do this?
Are we?
How'd you guys do this?
Are we? Man. So I hit this man up, right? I'm like, yo, what team colors do you want to do, right? I'm half expecting to say Rari, and he hits me with pink. And I was word. I said, I'm down. Yo, Force India. Like, if you remember, like, I got into F1 like off the first season of Drive to Survive, and like they were, a prominent team. Checo. And the owner was mad wild and shit. So I was with it. all excited. We have two races on Sunday, right? I should have do. I was out with my kid. Run back home to get on these races. My man's already fine. But you know what? I realized what day it was, and we'll talk about it when the show gets started out. So Masa definitely has a pass for Sunday. He has a pass.
Okay, you know the backstory. I might know the backstory. What got me pissed off was his stupid ass comment. He's like, I got home and I didn't even want to think about this shit. I thought he wasn't even home. I was like, oh my man's out. He's busy. He's family day. I
got home on time, to be honest. Like
I was tired though. Texted me a little bit more.
Like I got tired. Like so that weekend, I got up early. Took the fam to California Adventure.
Nice.
And then had a baby shower in Ontario. So drove to Ontario.
Nice.
Got home at 11. I couldn't go to sleep because I ate too much tacos and my stomach was hurting.
11 p.m., right?
11 p.m. I went to sleep at 1. Okay. I woke up at 6.
Why? Hold up. 11 to 1. What are you doing?
I'm in the shitter.
Oh, shit.
And I'm watching TV. Because I couldn't go to sleep, right? So I couldn't go to sleep.
Fair.
I wake up to go play soccer early. We had a 7 a.m. game with Eddie on Sunday. So I get up for that. I go play. I get home. And then we got to get ready because we're having like a little, like we're cutting cake for Isaiah at my sister-in-law's house.
Nice.
And that's in Montrose. That's like a 45-minute drive, kind of.
Not nice.
30-minute drive. I get home like it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock maybe. And then everybody's like, it's race time. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm not racing. Like, I don't have the energy for this shit. Like, I'm just going to chill and watch TV.
You're giving yourself too much credit. I think you would have gotten onto your console.
Yep.
And within 45 seconds, you would have been DNF'd and you would have been chilling. You would have showed face.
I'm saying at least you would have been there for, you know what I mean? But whatever. Not here there. We got Sunday races again. We'll be on Twitch. You can hear us walling out. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, Rudy, you gotta back. Hold up, Rudy, you gotta back me up. Mania, we're not gonna be there.
No.
Yeah. Never mind. You're right. I'm not there. I'm not racing. I'm being Mania. Catch us on IG Live.
I'm gonna be racing.
There you go. You show up our team this time. Let's see if you get. Yep, I got a point though. I got a point. I never said a I just gotta bar, bro. You gotta get 2 points, bro. I said a very fucking low bar, bro.
Who's winning this season, Rudy?
What's
Who's
up?
Winning this season for F1 team?
An F1?
Your team, dog.
Huh?
F1 22 in our league?
Yeah.
Yo, man. I'm talking about that. That Oreo team is fire, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Say
you know,
say
Oreo team.
Say
I
it.
can say it. Tune in and watch.
Bruce.
Phenomenal. I see him. I spectate him, and it's just I'm watching the real F1. The way that this motherfucker gets so close. The way that he gets so close to the side of the wall without flinching, and is what you're supposed to do, and does it seamlessly. My man's too nice. He's the GOAT.
Yeah. Shot Mayo, but he all right. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. He didn't hear you.
Yo, what up? And welcome to another episode of Straight from the Stands, an unapologetic, unofficial LA Galaxy podcast, hosted by 4,000 my supporters who bring you the thoughts and views on everything related to LA Galaxy, straight from the stands. I am your co-host Smarts, alongside the always angry Angel, his counterpart level-headed George, and the man with the facts, Masa. This is Straight from the Stands.
Good evening.
What up, everybody?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Angel is here.
This is my commitment to the pod. I will show face, unlike Masa. I will show face, even though I have other things to do, but I will show face. I will be here, and I will chime in when I can.
I'm here all the time, baby.
Hey, hold on. Before anything, I'm only talking to Glenn and Rudy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. You're my howler. You're my howler
for those who have not seen, for those who are listening to us, Rudy, what did I just show?
He showed one of my favorite books, all-time favorite books, Red Rising. Funny enough, right? I just got somebody asked me for a book recommendation, and I recommended the book. We're in a group setting, so like somebody else heard about it, they picked up the book. That certain somebody who originally asked for a recommendation yet to get past chapter 11, right? I'm not gonna say no names, but yet to get chapter 11. But Glenn, on the other hand, man, like, yeah, we've been talking about it. We're gonna link up and talk about this book because it's one of my favorite books. Anybody we're looking for a good read, Red Rising. It's a fiction book, sci-fi fiction, but it's dope.
I give you props, man. I wish I could fucking Like I wish I could be invested into reading like that, bro. I could if it's not subtitles, I'm not reading shit.
You gotta find one book that's gonna get you hooked.
Yeah,
one book.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
gonna get you, baby.
I was never a big reader until my adult life. So it is what it is. Masa, how you doing, Papa? Talk to me. How was the weekend, man?
Long weekend. I made time for my Korean TV show, and I mean, just working, baby. That's all I've been doing. Korean TV and enjoying the family.
Yeah, right. Happy belated birthday to the little one.
Yeah.
Thank you. 6 years. 6 years young, baby. That's
Crazy,
crazy,
man.
Flying.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? George, how you doing, Papa?
I can't complain, man. I finally invested in a stand-up desk. I got some new headphones. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. When I say the noise canceling and the ambient noise settings on new headphones, it's insane. When I say insane, it's crazy. But yeah, everything's good. Went to Bar 82 on Saturday. Super random. Yeah, super random. Stacy's family wanted to go out, and she was over there, and I was building. I was building the desk. My tracker. Rarely, whenever she wants to go out with her family, like, all right, cool, let's make it happen. So I made it happen. It was cool, but then it's not for me. I can't do it anymore because I didn't drink. So I didn't drink. But we fell asleep like at 2. So the next day, I was like this at 1 p.m. Just
not having it up.
Man.
If you're on YouTube, you know Angel's here, but he's busy with work. Finish your work, dog. Catch up and get in the conversation for this game.
I'm good.
There you go. You heard my man. He said he's good. Sounds like he's coming out the restroom, but I promise you he's not. Go to YouTube and you'll find out he's not in the restroom. It's just the microphone.
Unless he has a coffee maker right behind his toilet, then.
Wait, I didn't adjust my microphone? That could
Don't
be
even do it.
I just hooked everything up and I didn't.
You're good.
You know what's funny?
Do work.
The biggest motherfucker that complained about audio.
Yeah. Do work and get in the conversation. I am
Times have changed.
I had a fuck day. I'm gonna take about 3 minutes and talk about my fuck day.
Vents, baby.
Dog, I worked on a feature for work. And I worked hard, maybe like 50 hours in the last like 4 days, 5 days, something like that, trying to get this thing out. And I got it to build, and I pushed it. And then when it goes through QA, it fails right before launch day. We had to pull that, dog, and it's just, yeah. I'm about to take a day off because I was so frustrated this morning, dog. I work with Romanian time when I do launches like that, so it was all night just to find out that it wasn't going live. That hurt. So let's talk about the LA Galaxy. So I'm not talking about the other headache, right? My work. Let's talk about the LA Galaxy, and how they at least didn't lose again. But before that, we got some movement. Right? Obviously, a right back was available for selection. I think Masa gets a +1 for that one because he called it.
I mean, a +1 and a -1. It canceled out because he was available, but he didn't debut. So,
hey, Masa, I want to. I apologize. You apologize to me, and I apologize to you. We're bigger men here. I gave you a lot of shit for him not being available for selection, but he didn't play, so you're wrong. But I apologize.
Oh shit! Aldo's official today. Aldo's official today. We got our left back coming from Atletico. Oh, Lanús. Yeah, sorry, my bad. What am I talking about? Coming from Lanús. We're excited, right?
I am.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where Masa will know more about him just because he loves Argentinian soccer.
Argentinian soccer, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But when it comes to this player, it's just something different, and we're adding pieces that we need. This is a big spot that I think that's been lacking for us, and I'm excited for it. Moves are being made, and I think moves need to be made because we know in the summer we can't make these moves. So the fact that moves are being made and it's for something that's a identified need, I'm good with it. We can't complain about it.
Let's talk about this for a little bit, right? Because I'm salty as fuck. So I'm initially I was optimistic. I was like, yeah, this seems like I'm all about it, right? And then I started actually seeing the games, and I'm less optimistic that, like, you know, this is actually like the thing, right? Like, I'm a little less optimistic with that. but it is a young player, a player who we contract for 5 years through 2027. At the same time, though, I don't know how much weight that carries, right? Because Cabral was here for 5 years, supposedly, right? Talk to me, Masa, especially you, because you have a little more knowledge of this kid than I think any of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Why should we be excited? Like why this is not a Cabral part 2, right? And I get that's
hard to say because I think we've had this discussion on the side, and it's like people were complaining about some other rumor about the Brazilian guy and about his numbers, and I'm like, man, at the end of the day, shit doesn't matter if the player does not adapt to the league anyways. So he could do well in one league and then come here and shit the bed, and that's just the nature of the business. That's why you should have a scouting department. You should have analytics to better guide you in the decision. But this player is someone who is seen as a next prospect in Argentinian football, and he's only 19 years old. So I feel like now in South America, I think it's seen as MLS is the move prior to making the jump.
The jump off, right? Like
Europe.
The platform for the jump off.
Yeah. And
that's only if the player and maybe, right? Because again, we talked about some players not being as highly sought as others, but the ones that are not getting looked at by the big clubs or just the top leagues, those are guys you're referring to, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I mentioned it last week, or maybe the week prior to that like we don't need him to be like to get picked up by Arsenal or any of the big clubs like that, right? Like Arsenal. But at Everton or a club like that, that's still the jump that most of these kids are looking for. So I'm with you, and that's what I want to take from out there. That's the player we're getting. But again, I think I'm a little more cautious this year than I have been prior. So
we'll see puppy syndrome.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm not jaded, just just a little scared. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's a lot of positives though. It's not like he's played what 54 games at top level, and that's including like Sudamericana, Libertadores, the top flight in Argentina, and he's played for the unders for the Argentina national team, and it's the Argentina national. There's so many players, so much talent, and
big ass pool.
He literally just played in January for the under 20. And that group of players in that team, like prospect wise, it's very competitive, and you have to be at a certain level. And to me, there's only a plus side here. I mean, I don't know. It's just upside, and then the fact that like if you could go into Twitter and check people commenting that they're sad that he had to leave and they're mad that he chose MLS over making the jump to Europe or to
a good sign for us,
a big team. Always. And then Lanús kept 30% of the sell-on, the sell-on clause. That says that they believe in what they're shipping out, or they believe that there's going to be a bigger price tag further down the line. It seems like everyone thinks that he might be.
But he has something,
maybe
right?
not the next big thing, but he is gonna develop into something.
Yeah, I see it, and again, right? Like, I think there's something to a player coming from like a South American league into MLS, them trying to make that jump, whereas where Cabral was the other way around, where he came from League Two to MLS and then trying to make the jump back. I think that it has a different. You see it differently, right? The different perspective when you do that jump. So again, all for it. That move. So a couple things that needed to happen for that move. One, as Corner of the Galaxy had talked about before, effort does go up to that TAM spot. And there was a post that should have pulled it up too, where he's talking about like it's no race to him. It's just
he's gonna.
It's just making that spot available for with it. Which makes sense. And then the other thing, right? And I want to bring it up because there was an interesting take on this. We acquired international spot from Seattle,
and that's huge because Seattle just don't let that go for anything. It's like us letting go of an international spot.
And for was it 150K?
Yeah, 150,000.
That's the number?
Relatively cheap for the beginning of the season. That's usually what they go for mid-season, like during summer. I remember international spots going for 300K at the beginning of the season, 150 for half a season. That's pretty low if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly. And again, right, like that's a low number for an opposing team in the Western Conference, right? And I believe it was Manny who had this take. He said it, and if it was one of you guys, my bad for not giving you the credit. Is it that Seattle doesn't see us as a threat anymore? Is it that they believe that we won't be challenging for those spots where they believe they're going to be at, that they could give away for 150? Or because I'm with you. I think it's
I just think Seattle has a set roster, and most of their internationals are on green cards at this point.
Yeah, but still, if you have something that another team needs, you upsell it. You just don't give it away. I honestly don't know, because I don't know how many international spots Seattle could do, or what their books look like. But regardless, if you know a team needs something, if I have supply and demand, if I have something that you need, I'm gonna face you. I don't care if I think you're an easy target. If I'm gonna get as much as I can from you. Simple as that.
Game. I mean, that is true, but what if there's other teams that could be like, hey man, we could get this shit for like 150 over here too, and they were like, fuck it, again, we could use the money. Why not sell it for 150 as well?
But I hear you, right? But like, we started off this conversation by saying like that seems like kind of low number for an international spot, right? Let alone to a Western Conference. At least we want to imagine ourselves as a challenger to the upper spots in the Western Conference. Like that, to me, like that, I thought it was crazy. Like, because I didn't.
Or they saw the first 3 games and they're like, bet.
They're like, yeah, they ain't got it. No, and not just being pessimistic, right? But like, it's interesting to me because I would expect that number to be higher, right? But interesting. I'm excited for it. It
worked out for us.
Young players, and again, like it did. Yeah, it worked out for us. We didn't have to do much. Let's talk about like the front office move though that happened over the weekend, or at least that got reported over the weekend. Will Kuntz coming from Levas. Anybody know more than I know about it? Well, because I just know what I read from the tweets. Anybody know a little more about him, or have any?
All I know is that from what I've seen is that he's proven in MLB and MLS. And it just shows the work that he has put in over the years. He was in big part in the Leva's success in the past seasons. So to me, it's a good move. I know people want to say that, oh well, he came from over there. Well, I don't give a fuck where he came from.
Yeah, same. That team just won a chip. That team just won a chip, dog.
It's definitely a direction that he understands where MLS is at right now, and what needs to be done to make a team successful. And I'm 100% on board.
Listen, for whether you fuck that team, right? Like, and that's not a surprise to anybody. Fuck that team, but like that team just won a chip, right? And if you look at what they did in that roster for last year, it's ridiculous. The quality of players they had under Tam, the amount of players they had, just in general, right? Like the quality they had in that team was like,
and even the players that are making like lower tier money, like the depth that they have, like it's crazy what they were able to build when he was on board. And like from what I was reading, he was a big part in the big name players coming here for cheaper, and and what his scouting department had. Like he's a big part of that. And from what I understood is he left because he didn't want to be number 2.
Oh,
he didn't, because he was the number 2 to John Thorrington, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to be number 2.
That's interesting. That's
Makes
interesting.
him ambitious.
Yep.
Man, listen, is that right? In the MLB, he was with the Yankees, so it's not like he was with like a bum
He has
team,
chips
right?
with the Yankees.
Yeah, he has right. You were saying he had pens with the Yankees, like
yeah,
like whatever his involvement in, or how much of that was his drive, like he's around like real successful teams, right? And again, our team is lacking that, right? and when I say team, not only in players, but look at our front office too, right? Like we're lacking that experience of winning chips. Like, and nobody here has done that, right? Yes, this club has 5 chips, but who's currently here? Like, like it doesn't. It's not their. It's not their chips. I like this move. I like this move just for the fact that is feels like it's new blood. It's not. It's not somebody. It's not the boys club, right? It's not. It's not one of Klein's buddies that got a promotion.
It's someone deserving, someone who could. Here's my resume. I made Levas champions. I want the shot at giving your club life, bro. Sign that contract.
Hey, boys.
I think we might have gone down right now. Give me a second. I think it's coming back up.
I was hearing it in your internet or in your voice.
Yeah. Okay, we're coming back up. Yep, we're back up. We got back up now. I'm sorry. I've been meaning to cut you off, but I know we went down. Do you remember where you're at? So you can pick it back up.
Just that. It's just someone that is deserving of whatever position it is that they're giving him, because he has the accolades in the past, and it's not just like, oh, he used to play for us, or I know someone that knows someone. I could get you a job here.
Yeah.
So
I get that part, right? That part, and he seems like he's young. Like he seems like he's good energy, like young energy. I fucks with it, man. I hope he does well. I hope it's a move to kind of push Klein out, right? Or even
to me,
if
what I like.
Oh, go for it. Sorry.
To me, what I like is being a voice in the Yankees. That's an organization that's traditional, has long traditions to be able to make moves. Oh, obviously, we don't know how many moves he made, or even that. Just being in that room and being spoken, you have to be a loud voice in a room like that to even get attention. So, I mean, and I think that's what's needed in this front office. The boys' club is ending.
Yeah, I'm happy for this, man. And again, what I was gonna say is like, I hope this is AG and just upper management pushing Klein out, right? Even if it's not like completely out of the club, just completely away from like the sporting side of things, right? If we could, like, if he could, again, right, he got the extension once more because of money. If you want to continue doing that and just like move away from the sporting side of things, I won't complain for that, right? Like, let that happen, let that be a real thing, and I'm not complaining anymore because that's all I care about. I love the fact that my team is making money, that my team is not necessarily in the red as much as the other teams are, but I want the shit and I want the sporting side of things to be successful as well. So good move. I'm excited for this. Man, I don't think it could have came at a better time, right? Especially with everything going on. So happy for that. Any other international break? Or I don't know about international break. There's an international window going on. MLS doesn't seem to respect any of the international windows. So we're losing players?
Yes.
Who are we losing?
Leerdam.
Okay.
Sava Maleta.
Okay. Okay.
And Dejan Jovalic.
That's the big one.
What do we do here?
I would even say Leerdam.
Yeah, Leerdam too. Leerdam.
Calegari's already here. He has the week played.
I mean, who's been involved in our goals this season?
I'm okay. We're gonna get to that goal, but
okay. But it's facts, though. It's facts. It's facts, man. That's not the facts, though. Them is facts. No, but listen, for what it's worth, right? Like I'm hoping he's up to speed and he's good to go for Portland, and we'll talk about this coming up. But Leerdam was the guy who had been starting the last 3 games, right? And he's off. Jovalic. Right, and again, we'll talk about it, but I saw a much better game from him this week than I had the other ones, right? Definitely more resemblance of what we expect from Jovalic, but now he's going to go international break. If Cheech is not back, Judd's
correct
answer.
But even then, even if Cheech is back, I wouldn't play him in Portland.
Yeah, I'll probably give him like 10 minutes, bro, to be honest, just to get his going. You don't have to risk him. Risk him.
I think putting the 10 minutes is a risk within itself. Preston Judd's young.
Oh, but again, like it's in my opinion, this couldn't come at a worse time, right? Because I think there was a game where they finally caught glimpses of what they were trying to do, and now we're gonna be missing at least 2 pieces who have been continuously playing for us the last 3 weeks. All right. That being said, I think we've been alluding to this game. Anyways, we had the home opener this Saturday against Vancouver. Hey, let me fix this real quick. Nope, I guess it's not gonna work. All right. Game against Vancouver. Lineups.
Bon Diego.
So I have it, but before I say, like, we pretty much called it, and Boyd came in, right? Bon that goal. Neon Cáceres center backs. Lierdem Edwards are wing backs. Brugman, Delgado, and Puig in the middle with Chikinugi and Boyd wide-ish, and Joveljic up front. We got it right. We got Boyd starting over Memo, and Efra found a way to keep the spot for the moment.
I don't think you're ever gonna hear me say this. I cannot wait till Douglas Costa's back. I fucking can't believe I just said that shit.
Oh shit. Here, actually, can I take a moment before we talk about the game? Can I take a moment to just the home opener and the Klein out thing and everything that went on?
Of course.
Yo, the people who showed up for the protest, thank y'all. Y'all some real ones. Y'all put in work from the stands. That was hurt though, man. I being in the stadium, being there for kickoff and not being inside the stadium. Sheesh, that hurt. First time in man, maybe 15 years, maybe more than 15 years that I hadn't been inside the stadium for a kickoff. But it was hurt. I think it was hurt. What the numbers were, like, we're not complaining when the Galaxy say we had 22K when we all know they had 18K. So let's not complain now that they're saying they had 23K when they had whatever they had, right? Like, I think that's we're focusing on the wrong thing here. I think it was the voice we heard, and listen, from everybody I know and I talked to who was in the stadium, it wasn't an empty stadium, but it was a dead stadium. Like, the atmosphere there was sucked out of the air. So I think the point was made. What the point was trying to get across was made. So shout out to everybody who showed up, and hope this gets resolved soon, because being there and not being there really sucked. Angel, you seem like you have something to say, or
yeah, I could chime in on that. Obviously, it's no secret. I ever tell everyone that I went to the game with the boys. Man, from the moment that you're walking into the stadium, from the outside, right? You see it, right? Because everyone's standing outside from all sides. From what I saw by ACB entrance, by Lars entrance, you had support groups doing their thing, and obviously I'm walking in with the boys, but you see a lot of people looking around, like looking at them. I'm looking at the regular Galaxy fan, your average Galaxy fan. Just I'm curious as to their perspective. And you have people recording, have their camera phones out, they're watching, people talking about it. It was noticeable, like throughout the whole pre-match, right? It was obvious, and people were looking, staring. You see CHP, well, yeah, I think they were CHP, coming by, a shit ton of security. I was walking by when just a whole bunch of security's coming out. I mean, when I mean security, I mean they were treating that shit like they were ready for some desmadre, right? I mean, I get it. That's their thing. Just want to be safe. It is what it is. But regardless, walking in, it was a very, very weird home opener. I don't think I ever felt anything like that. Because you see, and you had you can tell there were a lot of first time people there. Actually, that's the thing, right? We'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of people talking around me that, it's the first game, and things like that. And people were actually talking like, why so quiet and stuff like that, right? But that it was eye catching. It was people don't know what's going on. Even people that didn't know what was going on, everyone was like phones out, talking about it. It was a thing, as you're coming into the stadium. Then you walk into the stadium, and you feel the buzz of, hey, it's home opener, but it's still quiet. You feel the buzz because people are talking to each other, and you have that piece. But the essence, the soul, the drum beat, right? The heart of the club, the stuff that you hear that you're accustomed to, that's just at this point second nature, because it's been years, over 15 years of this stuff. If you had the Galaxians from day one, you have that that music, you have that beat, right? And again, that essence, the soul, right? It wasn't there, right? You come in and it's like a lifeless body type of mentality. That's just what it felt like, and that's how that was coming in. And in terms of the actual play in general, like that, we can actually talk about the game, but I'll say my piece. I think I did see Corner of the Galaxy's snippet on that on the socials earlier today, and spot on.
What was
Like
it? I missed that.
like a baseball game. You
okay.
quiet, when shit's not happening, and excitement, or shit happens. Obviously, people they get up, they scream, "Oh shit!" or whatever, like "Oh whatever." Your average your moments, yes, in the moments people get up, and of course it was a good turnout for the fact that you didn't have with everything going on in terms of your average fan, everything around was a good turnout for sure. That you can't deny that. That is absolutely, whether it's because Galaxy handed out tickets or whatever it is, turnout was fine. But it was in all those in between moments where it was just silence. And I've seen obviously on socials, I don't engage in arguments and things of that nature. But I see, I'm out there. I'm still just curious. People saying there's so many antagonists out there, because they have their own agenda, right? Like us here on the pod, we instigated each other, and we antagonize each other so many times. Sometimes maybe it's just for the show.
You don't say.
Sometimes it's because sometimes it's because Rudy's always wrong and I'm always right. I can't do anything about that, right? But that's the reality. And I just see a lot of people out there that were just saying shit out of their fucking ass. Or just, honestly, at this point, I just think they're just being antagonists because that's the role that they decide to carry now as that type of Galaxy fan. Because the reality is, even if you decide to show up, right, and support, so the fuck what? It's not your business what's going on with supporter groups at the end of the day. If you don't want to support it, just show up and shut the fuck up and be about your business. But the reality is, it was quiet when there was nothing happening. Before any of the exciting stuff, whether it's us blocking, Bond blocking some shit, or Klinsman blocking some shit, or some dribble like Pooch dribble up the middle in the second half, or some of the like the offside calls and all that stuff. Of course, that's natural. That's any sport, right? Fucking tennis, golf, you hole in one. Everyone's gonna be like, oh shit, any fucking sport, right? But it's all the in betweens that the in betweens. That's where it's missing, and that's what it was. So if you want another perspective, go check out with Corner of the Galaxy. The way that they put together, that's another good analogy. It's the baseball analogy was pretty spot on.
Yeah, that paints a perfect picture. I think. Again, I wasn't inside, but thanks for that perspective. And that's that, man. Again, sucks for the first time. For the first time, people who've gone to see a Galaxy game and didn't get the full experience of it.
Sorry, because of that, there were a lot of people around as I was walking with the boys. People were talking. You hear people talking about their first game that they had a good time, but you heard a few times like, "No, why so quiet?" And you had a person that would bring someone there talk. There was a lot of chatter, and someone explained to someone what's going on. Why it's so quiet and stuff like that. That it was all over.
But and that's what it sucks, right? It sucks. Again. Listen, the Galaxy have to feel this, right? Because it is what it is. But also sucks because I want lifetime G fans, right? And again, like Masa, and I have like mad people who I've brought into the G's world through ACB, and is that first time they go, is that first experience that gets you hooked, you know what I mean? And then you're set, right? Like, so it sucks that for a lot of people who went the first time to a Galaxy game for the home opener, they didn't get the full experience and didn't get to see it. Hopefully we get another chance to kind of to showcase what we're about when we're all there. Let's get into the game. Because again, the lineup was something I think we saw coming, and I'm glad that it actually went that way. And I think immediately we saw what Boyd does. I don't. Here, let me say this. I remember I said I'm not convinced by Boyd. I'm don't think he's all that great, right? Well, he's not. I still feel that way, but he is serviceable as fuck, especially when we've seen what we've seen the weeks prior to this, right? Is that thing? I want to start off here. Like, I've been saying that we're not playing wide. We don't need wide players. Boyd was in here, and did we see him? Did you guys see him wide? Did you guys feel like he was the wide player that you expected him to be?
Not as what I expected. I could see what you mentioned of him being tucked in, but you could see that his natural way of playing soccer comes out. He might be told to do something, but it's one of those things like the video that got blown up today. That's because he took a player one-on-one that was wide. It wasn't more of a tuck in. And those are the type of things that we want to see from players. Always fit a system. Granted, that's if they're doing that tucked in. But I personally feel that he's adjusting and he's adding a little bit of flair to what he wants to do and what he wants to bring to the game.
Well, this guy's active.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's fucking active, right? Like what we haven't seen from Memo or from fucking Efra was a player who's willing to attack the space. And Boyd starts off tucked in, but he attacks the space. And when he attacks the space, he drags somebody with him. And then Joveljic is running attacking the other space, and now the defense is spread, right? And it was a one thing, like maybe not the one thing, because I think we're missing a few things, but it was a thing we were missing in the last few games, where we saw Memo and Efra just kind of post it, not necessarily attacking the space once we're looking to do that, right? Like it was just a lack of movement. And again, two things I noticed, right? And with those two players, I think is what have been our weaknesses in the last couple of games. Boyd is definitely more active. He's moving. He's looking to be into the spaces. And Efra was playing a lot deeper. Like he wasn't tucked in, taking some of that space in right on top of the box. He was receiving the ball deeper and then moving up with it, right? Which I think suits him a little better too, because he left that space open for Joveljic to be able to get wider outright, and for Boyd to tuck in a little more, or vice versa. Like I thought that those two things was the difference between this game and the other two games we played before, as far as why we created more chances, or at least looks at goal that were better than we had seen the last couple of weeks.
I think the difference is that defensively, if you're trying to guard that, when you have Memo and Efra on the wings, it's very one-dimensional. So if you tuck the defenders in a little bit more, you're taking away what they need to do. As opposed to Boyd, you don't know what you're going to get, so you have to stay on your toes. That's a lot of what we got from Cabral. Not giving Cabral a lot of credit, but the fact that he made those stupid runs kept defenders on their toes, which left spaces open for certain type of players, for touches to get brought in, which is what we're seeing right now. That one-on-one that Tyler Boyd did was really good, just because you're attacking the defender and then you're putting the ball. Fuck, the ball was not great. They didn't show the end of it, but the fact that those type of balls are coming is what we need. Just
and it's that braveness though, right? Like I like that. Like don't get me wrong. Like I think that was quality for me. Like highlight that video, because he just shit on somebody, right, with a simple stop by, and he shit on them. I like that. We haven't really had that, right? Like listen, and I might be reaching here, but listen, Greeny might have been the last one who really had a good recorte in that type of movement, right? Costa has it, but they're very short sprints. But like we don't really have that. We don't have somebody who could with a feint or with a step over could create space.
Granzier had it like every 12 games.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And again, like players here and there could do it every once in a while, but we don't have somebody who consistently could do that. And I think Boyd provided that. And he has the braveness to do it. It's not coming out all the time. Like I think he's still, I don't know what it is. Like maybe he doesn't have it all the time, but like he's brave enough to try it and obviously create some results. Also, you know what I noticed too, like right from the jump was the pace in which they're trying to move the ball. Right, like it was Ricky probably the only one who was allowed to kind of touch and turn, but everybody else looked to give the ball up real quick, 1-2 into space and create that movement, pull that defense. I thought we saw that early, and I thought we saw that a lot, and I like that.
I'm not against it. There was a lot of, I think the opening of this game that helped us out. I don't know how strong Vancouver is as an opponent. I don't know if they're the benchmark, but still, out of 3 games, this is kind of our benchmark of what a good game or what a game that we want to look like. You know, we can't. Yeah, I can't give these guys shit like, oh, the only reason you play good is because you played a bad team. No, let's pick the positives out of here, and they did well. There's things that, like every team, we need to grow from. But I see a little bit more than just a panic button, but also at the same time, you got to take it with a grain of salt because Vancouver's not a great team. So see, you got to balance it out. There's more of a thought process of what's to come, but the pieces aren't there yet.
Well, the reason why I'll give them more credit than maybe you do is because KC bombarded us, and they're sitting in 13th place. Vancouver's also not good, and they're sitting in 11th, while we sit in 12th. Right, like we were playing amongst us, right? We were playing amongst the shit right now, and we saw how in one scenario, especially, and again, I'm giving a lot of credit to what Boy did, and even what Effort did coming from behind or coming from deeper, that changed that, right? Because again, Dallas being, Dallas in fourth place, they look like they know what the fuck they're doing. They put a trash into us, but we look good at moments there. Against KC, we never found it, and then against Whitecaps, we did it. And again, in my opinion, is that movement of the Boy provided that really unlocked Jovelek being more threatening, and Booch having more space to look for those passes. That being said, though, right? That being said, I thought we looked good the first 10 minutes. Again, and please take it with a grain of salt when I say look good. We look good compared to what we've seen so far this season. We look good the first 10 minutes. And then it was a bet. Was it who's on that foul? Oh, it's the ball ricochets off of Edwards and Neil comes in for a tackle on top of the box. Right?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have a problem with like any of that sequence, right? Like Edwards just needs a fucking Olympia because he's always in the bad spot for some shit like that to happen. I think Neil comes in, misplaced tackle, a little late there, but it is a footballing tackle. Like I'm not necessarily upset with that. It's a foul, bad place to give it. What happens next bugs me the fuck out though. What happens next, bro? George, I think you called it out on Discord. Talk to me about this.
It pisses me off because there's two players over the ball. On your Thursday league, on your Sunday league, the number one thing is to look at the ball, not the player. Number one rule, look at the ball, not the player. The one offensive player goes down as he's about to move the ball. Everyone in the Galaxy is staring at this man as if he's about to say a speech or something, and then the other guy takes a fucking free kick. It pisses me off because we get caught flat-footed. What gets me even more pissed the fuck off is the person that was supposed to be defending this player.
Who?
Chiqui, Efrain Alvarez, Nuggy.
Yeah.
Dog,
yeah, man.
I don't understand. You are a professional fucking team, not player. You are a professional team.
So enlighten me here. Sorry, I know we're bashing Chicken Noogie, and I love it. I hate that. But explain to me why is this fuck? Because I saw it from the stadium. Obviously, I didn't watch the replay. So from my angle, from what I saw, and kind of the end of everything, Jalen Neal to me looked like closest to it, and that's kind of how I remember it.
Absolutely.
Again, I'm not here to say it's Jalen Neal's fault. That's all I'm here. I'm saying is enlighten me, explain it to me because we saw it a little different.
Because before that kick's even taken, everyone's matched up next to their man already. Chicken Nugget is next to his man. Jalen Neal's next to his man, and then the other defender. Like when you're doing a corner kick or a free kick, I got number 5. I got number 8. It looks as if that has happened already, and everyone's lined up next to their man.
Yep.
I'm not on the field, and I'm not hearing it. So the closest person that's next to him before that kick's taken, and I believe he's even almost touching him
on him. Yeah, he does. When they're setting up, there's this, right? Like there's the two hands on the chest, kind of. I'm here. What happened there? Like what happened there is been our problem in our defense. Again, it's been that problem. It's not necessarily that they have a whole game to fuck up. It's those little moments where they just lose focus.
Moments, right? It's always losing focus, and this happens again pisses me off. Remember last year, the biggest like one play that it's still vivid in my mind right now, pissing me off the most is the goal that we conceded to Minnesota off of fucking throw, and then ended up costing us 3 points. We were winning 1-0 on the road off of a fucking throw-in. Why? Because everyone's fucking sleeping. I hate it. Like it gets like, how is it still an issue?
It's that part, right? Credit to Vancouver. Credit to Vancouver because that's off the fucking training field, right? Because you saw them try to do something different from a different corner kick. So I know that they're working on that. So credit to them for being heads up on that. But I just find that really inexcusable, man. And I find it excusable because again we see this often. Like we see how we turn off for half a second, and teams figure a way how to make that hurt us. How to score on us from those situations. So lo and behold, here it is again, right? A
Granted,
simple trick, to be honest.
That was a really dope asset play, and that fucking ball that was whipped in, that shit was gorgeous. That shit was dope.
Like credit to them, like it was worked, right? But come on, like that's not you know, it's not elaborate. Like it's very simple. Like it's a very simple, you know, reach for the ball, step back, the other guy shoots, right? Like I listen, if they pull that shit off on Thursday, I'm like, yo, right? But these are professional players, man. You know what I mean? Like it's too simple to be falling for that, in my opinion. But there you go, right? 14 minutes in, we're down 1-0 off of just a, you know, lapse of fucking focus again. I do like the attitude though. I do like the attitude after the goal.
I just saw the replay for the goal. I hadn't seen it.
And remind me before we get to our goal, just really quick. I do have a question here, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is how I remember the stadium, and quiet, so we were very engaged in the game. Up to that goal, Vancouver's goal, 30 minutes in, it was all Vancouver. No. It felt that way, at least. That they were the team that was pressing. I felt like we were in our box the majority of that up to those 30 minutes. So we were defending. We were in our, and we were just trying to hit them on the counters. Is that kind of what you guys saw? Because that's how I remember seeing it.
I mean, the highlights say different stories, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in those first 30 minutes?
Not even highlights. Like, again, like I said, like the first 10 minutes, right before, because we got scored in the 14th minute. Like the first 10 minutes, I thought the Galaxy showed good. Like the movement was there from the jump. Like,
there's a play that I think Delgado is on the end line, gives it to Jovic. The keeper saves it twice. He puts a hand on it.
I'm talking about in terms of who was dictating play in those first 30 minutes.
Well, prior to the goal, it seemed like it was all Galaxy, bro.
Mm-hmm. But even like in my opinion, even play. And it wasn't, again, I just mentioned, I don't think it was much possession. It was like quick touches to try to get into space quicker. So maybe that's why it looked that way. But I felt from watching the game.
My bad, I missed the first half completely, but just from highlights, I know they're highlights, but the sense of urgency in the Galaxy players, at least for the first 15 minutes prior to the goal, looked a lot better than they did the past 2 games. And on that that goal,
I mean, it's irrelevant at this point, right?
Yeah,
that's just not how I remember it. But
the goal on that they scored on us, dog, Chicken Nugget just standing there. He's guarding his man, and he fell asleep.
Yeah.
And to even add more to how I felt this game went through, like I like the attitude of the Galaxy right after they get scored on. Right, like it went like the pressure felt like it took a little step up, and the aggressiveness felt like it took a step up, but without being reckless, which I appreciate, right? And that's including Edwards, because I felt like Edwards who was more influential in this game, and it wasn't as reckless as it had been like in the last couple of weeks, right? Hopefully that was because he got yelled at or something like that. But again, like they come out and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like right before there's the injury to Bond, like there is that call. There's the goal being called back on Pooch, right? Similar again where it's end line, kids cross in, gets played back, and Pooch comes in and does what he does, puts it away. I think it's 1-1 at that point, right?
Was Dejan offside? Because they don't show the replays.
Yeah, Dejan was.
He looks offside.
Yeah, he was offside.
I saw the
shoulder.
Replay now.
Maybe like shoulder, like leaning into it or whatever. But again, like I think that play itself highlights what the Galaxy are looking to do when an attacking front, right? It's like breaking the lines through that means not necessarily looking to find, you know, a big gap of space to run into, but looking for that pass that's gonna break the line and cause the defense to scramble back. It would have been a nice goal. Gets called back. So still 1-0. And then I'm at the stadium, like, you know, protesting and having the phone in my hand. I'm not looking at my phone. And then I look at my phone and I see Klinsmann warming up. And like not warming up, like putting on game jersey on, right? Like, what the fuck going on? I look at the replay. This is live at stadium, and I just see Edwards crashing into him.
He got pushed into him.
Straight up, he busted a. To me, he busted a Sam. Masa on Sam, bro. Fucked him up for life.
I don't. Here, I
have better distribution.
And again, this is me watching it on my phone at the stadium, so that's what I saw. Right, watch the game again at home. I think there's contact, but I'm gonna sound like I'm bashing. I'm not trying to, but I feel like it's indecision again that really ultimately ends up causing him to crash into him. Right? I think there is contact. The ball's bouncing in front of him, and he never quite understands whether like he's gonna clear it, Bond's gonna grab it. And don't get me wrong, it's split second, so I don't know how much control of that he has, but it's that moment, like the ball bounced, he's stumbling, no decision made, crashes into Bond. It's an awkward position for Bond too, because Bond can't be more aggressive than what he is there, because the ball's kind of like mid-height bouncing away from you, right? So you can't be more aggressive, and you be the one that's comes out on top of that. He just ends up getting rolled over. Fucked up, scary. Thoughts on that?
Actually, 100% on Edwards, because that whole play, even the whole sequence from the beginning, the entire time the attacker for Vancouver hasn't beat on the inside. The entire time from the time the ball's up in the air, the whole play, the whole sequence, that's just vivid in mind. It's basic defending 1-on-1. As a defender, you're always gonna be on the inside of the forward. Give him the outside. I know right there's your little central, so you can make an argument, right? But even then, if you're on the inside of where the ball's gonna land, you have the better chance of fighting the ball. Which essentially, that forward from Vancouver boxed out Edwards. That's why Edwards can never get to the ball. Edwards got lucky that that's not a world class forward. Doesn't bring the ball down, lets it bounce, and shit just happens the way it does. But ultimately, it's because Edwards was beat in his positioning and couldn't get around. And also, I think he was too afraid to do anything reckless like a fucking penalty, right? Where he was very indecisive of what he's going to do. That ultimately leads to what happened.
Yeah, I
blame it on him 100%.
Again, I think it's football. Like I don't. I think he maybe could have done better, but I think a lot of what happened against Dallas, like how he was beat in Dallas, factor into it too, because he was aggressive. He was more aggressive in the way he approached this one, right, versus what he did against Dallas. Maybe the position of the field had a lot to do with it. So, like, I really think, like, yeah, to your point, I think he could have done better, like positioning wise, but he does enough, in my opinion, like to get there and be there. It's unfortunate that it bounces, that he gets a little knock on the way that kind of makes him stumble and then crashes into Bond.
It's unfortunate. Y'all too nice. You guys are too nice with that shit. That's all on him.
I'm just that's how I see it.
I'm not
trying to be nice. That's how I see it. Like I think he could have done better. I think you're right that he could have been positioning better, but it's football. Like in you know what I mean? It's not like you could stop time and make sure you're in the right position every time. Shit happens in the run of play. So I don't blame him. It is Bond though, right? So my reaction to that is scary as fuck. Because
really, I don't feel as I'm not saying Bond is not a big part of the team. I just feel like I'm gonna get cooked for this shit. But
no.
I don't think the drop off is too massive.
Oh, between line?
100%. I back you up.
I feel it sucks for Bond because I feel like he's obviously the number one, but I trust enough in Klinsmann to not feel like, damn, we're about to let some goals in. If it was David Bingham, then I'll be shitting bricks, bro. But it's not. And I think Klinsmann is more than capable.
I agree.
What I don't like is the fact that right now our starting center back is Neil. And
I don't have a problem with that, though.
I do. Well, I don't have a problem with it. Let me roll that back. I don't have a problem with it, but I do prefer Bond.
Tell me why though?
I do prefer Bond because it's a keeper with experience. That's going to be the voicing in the back in the back.
But I mean, you have Martin.
Yeah.
You want to talk about experience?
No, all right, no. But Martin is not behind. Is not going to be behind the neck because Martin is going forward. Neil's the one that he's our stopper. Right.
I'm not giving
a stopper. And again, I'm not saying Klinsmann can't do it. I prefer a keeper with more experience to be the one yapping at it back to you. Right? Like
honestly, I don't think that Bond was much of a voice. I'm not giving him shit, but I don't think that he was much of a. I think our voices came from our center backs. I wish Bond was more of a voice. If I'm giving him any shit, yeah. I mean, I agree with Masa. I don't think there's much of a drop off there.
In skill wise, like
no, even voice wise,
again, listen, like Bond has
been a general back there and been the leader that really making out.
That's not no. That's not what I'm making out to see. Right? You're a keeper, right? As a keeper, you're gonna do call outs. You don't. I'm not saying that he's the one instructing everybody, but as a keeper, you're always calling out. Whether you're a big voice or not a big voice, you always call out. Right? Like there's always call outs you do. right? As a keeper, when I know my defenders, I know what to call out because I know your tendencies of doing shit.
You
right? Bond has that. What I'm trying to say is Bond has that, while Klinsmann does not. Right?
I don't know, man. Klinsmann was he was a lot he chapped a lot when he was on my side. I was closer to where I was. He was very active, and I don't know if I agree with you right now. Okay. But again, this is one game sample size right now.
That's just preference, right? Yeah. Like again, I'm saying I want the experienced keeper. I want that boys to be. I'm not all the keepers. Yeah, all I'm saying is I want the experienced keeper to be in my back. I prefer.
What I will tell you, what I am excited about, I feel like Klinsmann's better with his feet. So
this might be in the second half. Yeah, I think it was second half.
Second half. He's outside his box. Well, he's playing the high line, right, from his box. He sprints out. He gets that ball. He makes his decision. He gets it first, clears it out. I know exactly what you're talking about.
No. I don't think you do. They play him a ball back, and there's pressure. The pressure is coming in, and he decides to chip the ball over his head, back out to where the pass came back. And the attacker slips, and he does that, right? Like that's somebody who's comfortable with his feet. Right, to say I'm just gonna put it over you, and it's like a delicate touch. It wasn't like right. Like let me get rid of it. Like it was a delicate touch over him. Shits on the fucking attack. That's me. Get out of here. That was delicate. Like it's right over the attacker. It makes him slip. Like and there's out. Now he hit the defender. I think that's to the left. So it might have been Leardom, who receives the ball and has space to move forward. Massa spot on that. I can't imagine Bond doing that just in general. Right, like so shout out to that. Again, I still prefer. I'm always gonna lean towards an experienced keeper, but I solid point on.
Yeah, me too. I'm not saying Klinsmann should be number one. I'm just saying like it's
not major drop.
Unfortunate situation.
We're not going from Costa to Efra, is what we're trying to say.
Fair, maybe fair. And the game goes on. Like I don't think Galaxy was Galaxy was the dominant force in this game, right? Like it wasn't Galaxy versus Scrubs. Like I think Vancouver made the game. I think the Galaxy had the better idea of what they wanted to do, and they kept insisting at it. The goal does come from an unlikely source, though, or maybe right because at this point he has an assist on a goal this season, so maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's an interesting play where Efra is the one who actually dictates in the position where we usually see Puja at, right? Top of the box with the ball in his feet. And for most of the game, I felt like he held on to the ball for too long. Like where he wasn't a passing, he should have touched it or should have taken a shot right before. Felt he held it on. This play though, the patience that he needed, like he holds on to the ball. Dejan positions his body where he needs to, gives him the first touch out to. Was that Brugman or
Raheem?
I believe it was, no, because there's another touch before it goes to Raheem. Ends up with Raheem out wide. And then Raheem's ball, I don't think it was intended for anybody, but I think it was the ball to play, right? Like it's a ball behind the defender into space in front of the six.
Am I wrong that Joveljic should be there?
But Joveljic was intending to go. Like he when he realized it goes wide, he comes back in. So he's heading there. Like it's not. I don't think he'll get there, but like. The ball was in a dangerous place. He could I don't think you want. If he knows the ball's coming there, he should be there. But I think the way it's played is also into space, like hoping that he runs into it, not necessarily for him.
Fair.
You tell me though. Like you think he should have been there?
I think
someone should.
I think someone should be there. 2, it should be our striker. 3, it doesn't even get to Leardom because goalie makes a save on that before it even gets to him. So. I want somebody to be in between the goalie and the defender that it goes over. I think that's a perfect positioning for someone. And you would hope for it to be a striker. Regardless, I'm nitpicking at it, but I think that play caps off a good movement and everything if a striker finishes that ball and it's a header in or it's a one-time touch in.
Well, yeah, I 100%. But it also, like, I think it's also the way that play rolls out, right? Because, again, it's the way from the first time Dejan touches it back out to when that ball gets played in, it's pretty bang bang, right? Like it happens pretty quick. And again, that play should have been over. As George said, that play should have been over. Keeper should have held on to it and called it a night. But he doesn't. It rolls out of his hand. It slips out of his hand, and then big, heads up play by Leardom gets in front of the defender and just taps it into the back of net. 1-1. 48th minute. That's what they're crediting it. So definitely into stoppage time in the first half.
It was
10 minutes stoppage.
Yeah,
10 minutes stoppage. Yep.
Yeah. So looking at the play right now, it goes from Efra to Joveljic to Raheem. When Joveljic passes the ball to Raheem, he's immediately asking for it back, but with their player on him, and then the player ducks in. Yeah, there's time for him to get to that ball.
Yeah,
should be there. I understand you want the ball in the box here, striker. You're doing what we want, but put yourself in that position. Get yourself that goal. And I think that's what helps him out in the future. And we're going to talk to it. And I think that's what helps him out in the goal that we're going to talk about in a bit.
Yeah, either way though, right? Like I think the Galaxy had created opportunities, created chances. I think Joveljic was involved in chances. They didn't seem to drop in the unluckiest way of goals by the goal, goalie spitting it like that and getting it. I'll take it 1-1 into half, right? Shit, we're on the opposite end of this, right? Against Dallas, we should have gone into half winning that game, and instead we ended up being drawn, and then we saw what happened in the second half. I was hopeful. I said, hey, maybe it is a complete turnaround from what we saw in Dallas, right? We'll come out of the second half and put 4 away. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Here, talk to me about this, right? Talk to me because in the second half, Robot Vanny does one change, which is to bring Memo in for Efra. Ooh.
Did y'all hear that?
Thunder. Yeah, that fucking just roared, George. Hey, George, hold me. Hey, George, hold me.
Oh my God, what the fuck was that?
I'm sorry. All right, back to let me try to second half Memo for Efra is the only sub at the 65th minute, which is come to expect from Vanny. Prior to that, like, what do you do? Like, I want to set this up this way, and I talked about that sub because I guess you make that sub, but like, what do you do with them, right? Like the Galaxy came out second half, similar to what they had in the first half, where they were creating, but they weren't super dominant. I think there were some thoughts, but also you saw again, like I think Efra had more because he was starting from a deeper, and he wasn't always being involved. I thought he had more legs up to the second half, but also you saw a big drop off, pretty soon into the second half. So I understand that. So, but like, what else do you do? I don't necessarily see, like, if we look at the bench, I didn't see what you do to make the team in the second half better.
Who was on the bench?
Some of this out. At that point, it was Judd, Rosell, Mavinga, here, let me pull out the rest. Calegari, Aguirre. Yeah, and that's it, right? And you already lost the window, so you only have one more window because, again, we had the Klinsmann sum in the first half. So again, like, what do you do here? Like, here, and this is what I was seeing in the second half. I was trying to prep for this, but like, what do you do there, right?
If you don't, so the goal is not to play someone out of position, correct? Because there's a lot of things that you could do, but I know it's things that we don't want. You can move certain midfielders to the wings, but I want to get away from that because that's a lot of why we were making excuses in the future. Oh, we're playing this play out of position. It is what it is. The only movement that I see is Efra coming in for Memo. It's not something I want to do. It's not something I want to do, but our hands are held. Our hands are tied with this. If we don't want to play players out of positions, there's no substitutions there. Because the midfield, I think it's fine. The 3 in the midfielder, I don't touch. Yep. The wing is what we're lacking. But if you tell me you're taking out Tyler Boyd or you're taking out Efra's getting the boot immediately. There's nothing there for me. That's kind of critical. But for what he showed me, the 2-3 plays that he did in this game is not enough for me to give you 90 or for me to hold off to pull you out and not give Boyd that chance. Because Boyd, I think, is playing himself into a position as opposed to Efra playing himself out of a position. So Boyd started this game because you saw that Memo wasn't it. For whatever reason, I think that it should be Boyd and Memo starting these games, but you're giving Efra the benefit of the doubt. So if we're pulling out a winger, Efra should be always the first to go.
But here, let me rephrase this, right? Because I hear what you're saying. And my problem was that I don't think the Galaxy were doing bad in the second half. I don't think they were doing horrible. I think they were creating some chances. I think they were stopped, but like we weren't breaking. We weren't like I wasn't convinced that it was going to happen for us in the second half, right? And if you look at your bench and say, I need a difference maker, I need somebody who can offer me something different, right? I think you have Judd. But that changes the complexity of your whole team. Like what do you do? Like, there's.
I'm gonna keep asking for it until it gets to someone's ears. Johnny Perez, bro.
But he's not even on the bench. But he's not even on the bench right now.
I'm looking at this right now. He was on the bench.
Was he? Oh, yeah. I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's on the bench, and that like why?
Like, yes. And so like,
not good enough.
I'm gonna say one thing about Memo, man. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, and I haven't been ever.
But you're not putting in Johnny Perez over Memo.
Why not? Okay, what are you gonna get out of Memo? What are you gonna get? Listen,
he was the most dangerous. He was dangerous.
Okay, that's what when he came in. He didn't have a bad second half. I'm not gonna knock him for that. But I've seen more from Johnny. He actually has given me more impact in the games that he's played, as to what Memo has given me so far. And they both have very limited. Games have Perez played though? Both limited sample size. Fair. His games with the Mexican national team, his games with Galaxy when he's gotten to play, and his time with G's too. So how are you going to come and give the opportunity to some whack-ass player from Houston Dynamo as opposed to a player who's giving you something, has given you something, right? And we know he's a sought-out player. I'm surprised we kept him. There was rumors because other teams wanted him. So give him a shot, man. Like, right, you have nothing to lose right now.
Yeah, you do.
It's a gamble.
Yeah, you do. There's tournaments in place for that type of player to be played. I'd rather.
And you're telling me here right now that the Memo Rodriguez is a much better player than Johnny Perez. Because every time about it,
there's I haven't seen Johnny Perez play.
But I have. Here, let me back up Angel though, right? Because one thing I'll say, Boyd changed the game for us because he has characteristics of trying to attack the space, trying to take on somebody one-on-one. I think Perez has similar characteristics, right? Like he will attack that space. He does have that pace to kind of get away from somebody if the space is given. So why not? Like we saw that chain that made a change to the team where like you saw Joveljic be more present, right? He was a factor in this game where he had been under the game. And again, my take is that you credited that to Boyd a lot because of the way he plays. And if you could mimic that on the other side. And maybe that's not what you want to do all the time, but like in a game that doesn't seem that it's going to be unlocked, a game that seems like you could, if you could have if you could throw something else in there, if you could throw just a different thing out there, you might be able to unlock it because you're creating opportunities, right? We just need something a little different to kind of really open it up. Why not somebody with that characteristic? So I agree with you, Angel.
And you guys talk about who's going to come off the bench is going to give you something in the attack, right? Something that's going to change. We've seen them already twice. Let Johnny Perez have a crack at it. And you know what? Fuck it, George. If it doesn't work out, then fuck it. It doesn't work out. But at least we can't be here like, play him. Fucking play him. We're still on the bench. We got to see it. We don't know.
Okay. Question though. How much of it do we have to see though? How much of it do we have to see? Because then we could use on the other side of exactly. On the other side of it, we could be like, oh, well, we got to give him more time. We got to give him more time. There's players that we brought in.
We have to give him at least enough time as we give him Memo.
We're bringing in a player like Memo. We're bringing in a player like Memo for that.
How are we bringing a player like Memo? He's not a player like Memo.
We brought in Memo. We brought in Memo is what I'm telling you. We brought in
Memo. That's a poor decision. I've been saying that for the longest.
But listen, I think it's a poor decision if he's our starter. Yeah. I don't think it's a poor decision if he's our depth, right? I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong because I guess he is a cam, right? But like I don't see him there. Like I think he could pass the ball, so I think he could be a good depth piece for a midfield, right? And I'm talking about Delgado or Brookman. I didn't see him there, but regardless of all that, I think again my point to all this was like I thought we needed something different. I think we need to switch it up, provide something a little different to really unlock Vancouver in a game that I think we could have because we're creating chances. And you bring in Memo where I think we might need some. Memo was a little more of what we already had. I think Paris could have been something different, and I would have liked to see it. I hope he gets it throughout the season, and I do think he needs it a lot, right? Like it's a lot of these stints where he could come in and pick up these minutes. So I'm hoping he can see it. I'm not holding my breath. It's not something that Galaxy really do a lot, right? So hopefully we see it, but I'm not holding my breath to that. Let's talk about because we did score another goal. Joveljic gets his goal, gets a goal at home. but it gets called back. Talk to me. Somebody talk to me about
Damn,
on why
bro,
this
like,
gets called back, how this gets called back. Like,
that was a bad call.
I saw
Straight
it.
up,
I saw
there's no
it.
way around it.
I was watching on my phone and seen it bounce off his chest. He scores the goal. I'm like, hell yeah, we scored. And then I seen that when the ref called it on the field, when he called it offside, I was like, that's it. They're calling this shit back. And not because it was a handball. It's just that from the replay itself, it's like, it's not clear and obvious.
yeah, and the call
That's
is
the problem.
So, like, why didn't you just let the goal stand?
That's it. There you go, Masa.
Let the VAR fucking overturn it.
Mhm.
But the referee kind of fucks himself in that situation because it's not. It's either way, it's not clear and obvious. So whatever decision you make on the field, it stands. And it's this shit's so stupid, bro. That shit got me mad.
Yeah.
Man, and let me tell you why it gets me mad too, because we've been out here talking about, I don't know, it's been the theme of the podcast, like day one moments, the game's about moments. At the same time, we've also been out here talking about we can't rely on the referees, right? We shouldn't be bitching about, we should create more because of, VAR calls or whatever. Fuck, man, that was bad. Like it's fucked up, and again, I don't want to be out here saying maybe we should have had more opportunities, maybe we should create more. But for what our team is right now, where our chances are limited, we're not creating enough for me to be like, yo, we had a jillion, we should have put these away. Fuck, man, that was bad. That was bad.
Man.
I hate to say it, this was on the ref for sure.
Wait, and you know what? And what is on the ref is the fact that he calls it, right? Because all the goals get checked anyways, right? So if there's any possibility of that handball, it would have been checked. But because it wasn't clear and obvious, it wouldn't have been like. Again, on the replay, and slow it down is not clear and obvious. It can't be clear and obvious to you. Why are you fucking?
But you've been trained to let the play go, and then you could always go back. You could give that benefit of the doubt. It's harder to call it and then overturn it than to let it go through, and then you have regardless, you're still going to be able to go to VAR. Let the play go through.
Yeah. How do they do that? Offsides. They let the play when it's clear, fucking obvious offside. Just still let them play. They fucking crack each other. Shit still happens, and then they call it. Like
no,
like Lisa says, make it make sense.
For real, make it make sense, right?
Make it make sense. That's right.
If you don't make that call, if you don't call that, you're safe either way, because if it is that, it's gonna get reviewed, and there's a safety net for you, right? There's no point of you influencing the game incorrectly.
Yes.
But so it is though. Dijon not in the fucking not in the scoring sheet. And again, I'm with you. I was hoping you guys saw something that I didn't, to say that okay, like it was a good call, but it's not. So unfortunately, like that's on the refs that kind of took that goal away from us, and takes that dub away from us, right? I think, and again, you said we didn't create chances. I think we created chances this game. I don't think we created chances, and I think Joveljic specifically was found in good positions. I think different day.
I mean, we did create some chances, but we had a few clear. I know we did have a few clear. You're right. I take it back. Like Edwards had one in the first half. Should have put away. You're right.
And even the ones that didn't make it to goal, right? Like there was a few times we found Joveljic in the box that he takes a first time shot that ricochets off of the leg. Right. And another day, like he takes a touch and scores that because we know he can. But we found
that kind of bounced around off of the line too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the one I was talking about.
You're right.
Like so again, like not that we were. I'm not gonna say that we were like the dominant team in this game, but I think we were the better team, and I think we deserve that goal, man. We deserve that, and we deserve to take that dub. And I think it would have meant something for a team to be
had some chances, man. They had, especially at the end, that shit got scary. So I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not gonna say we deserve the win.
What's frustrating is so I just got a message from someone and they said that the ref wasn't sure and checked with VAR, and VAR asked if he wanted to check, and he said no.
Asshole.
if it's there to check, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it doesn't make it make sense. Is that what that's the saying, Angel?
Yeah, that's the saying.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, that's the thing now. Apparently, make it make sense.
It just doesn't though. Like, and again, you don't have to disagree, but I think that we deserve to win the game, and again, a bad call takes that away from us. Let's talk about some players again. I want to keep
talking. Man, Vanny out, dog. What the fuck?
I want to talk about Neo again.
Yes.
Because I don't have much to talk about Neil, right? Like
comfortable and confident. Two words that I like. That's it, man. Comfortable and confident.
There was a play where he wasn't found, and I was like, oh, there it is. Like, where were you? What? And you see how like she transitioned the ball, like he was in the right place, good ball plays. This kid, 2 games. I'm gonna pump my brakes. Remember I said I'm not gonna be super optimistic. I'm gonna pump my brakes a little bit. 2 games in though, like kid is solid, man. And Angel, so far his physicality has not been an issue for him.
Yeah, hasn't been. I like it.
That's what you're saying. You're saying not to hold, but not to put my brakes. Why not?
No. How old is this kid? 19.
Full throttle, baby. That's what he means. Fucking pedal to the metal.
I've seen enough in 2 games to know that he's a better prospect than Efrain Alvarez.
That's a low bar. I mean, that's a low bar.
Fucking chicken movie.
I think all of us are better prospects than.
Like 4 years ago, it was a different story. 4 years ago, everybody was high on Efra, and
4 years ago, he was a prospect.
4 years ago, I told you that fool wasn't shit.
Okay, cool. He was still a prospect 4 years ago.
Jalen Neal, I didn't even have to watch him on the Galaxy debut to tell you that fool was a shit.
Was that when you were backing up Rolf Felcher around that time too? Motherfucker, shut up. People get shit wrong.
Shelvick?
Yeah, Shelvick.
We got receipts, baby. We got plenty of episodes of receipts for everybody.
I'm just saying not to. He hasn't given you a reason to.
He hasn't though.
To not be like, damn, I don't know. We would have seen it already.
But he plays for the Galaxy, so it's a little scary, you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm fucking being, putting my brakes a little because of the team he plays for. Right now.
The one game he didn't play, we got scored on multiple times.
Man, with the facts, I mean, you're not wrong there. George, where you at? Where you at with Neil?
I tweeted right after the game, another comfortable and confident start for the young man. I love it.
Man,
when you can't say anything bad about the defender, what else do you have to say?
Yeah.
And even then, within these 3 games, if he would have cost us a goal or made a mistake, I would have said he's young.
Yeah, it's expected.
Now, if it's consistent, then it's an issue. Comfortable and confident. That's it, man.
Yeah. I mean, no question. He's a starting center back right now, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go to. At this point, how do you start Mavinga, or even how does Coulibaly get back into the 11?
Oh, he's still on the team.
Yeah,
he was a part of wasn't he on a like a social media thing that they posted in regards to it being called soccer or football? I believe I saw. I believe I saw Sega. So he's here. He's here somewhere.
He posted pictures on his Instagram too of him.
How does those 2 players get into the 11 right now? It's impossible. Cáceres is.
Like
we talk about Cáceres too. Our 2 CBs we're hardly talking about these past 2 games. It's because they're solid. And I think it's a perfect combo. Like, it's a young CB with someone with experience. It kind of reminds me of the Greg Berhalter when he came in.
Yep, I agree. I 100% agree. You know what I like about it though, like the maturity in fucking Neil, bro. Because it's Cáceres who's the one who's being aggressive and going out to meet, while Neil is being patient and sitting back. Not all the time. I've seen him step up a few times, but like for a lot of cases, I see Neil being the one who's playing the super role, who's sticking to being the last man.
Well, we did say that Cáceres likes to push up a little bit, a little too much for my comfort. But if Neil's back there, I'm okay with it.
Listen, I again, we played KC and we played Vancouver, which is not like the hardest test for Neil. But so far we see. I mean, we've seen Coulibaly and we've seen other center backs play against KC and Vancouver and shit the bed, right? So shout out to me.
Both and more so Edwards left them in no man's land for a while. Like both of them having to cover for Edwards because he just can't track back for the life of him. He decides to push all the way up and then he just props all the way back. And he's just watching everything in front of him happen as he's trying back in.
I'm interested to see how we have that narrative with Julian though. Because Julian's gonna be our left back.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. I'm just saying that as of right now, I'm saying credit to both Neil and Cáceres for having to cover those spaces, for understanding, and whatever dialogues and communication they're having is, hey, they're not both going recklessly into the open space that Edwards is leaving behind.
To me, it feels like planned, though.
spot.
To me, it feels planned. The fact that Edwards is the only one pushing up, because Leardon doesn't have that much of it. Yeah. Did your
I
dog
agree.
die? What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is Cocoa Puff doing, bro. Like, what the fuck?
We got Thunder, we got Cocoa Puff being acting wild. Yo, what's going on today?
No, but I think that's by design, though. I think them covering those spaces are by design because that's what we want our wingbacks to be doing.
I hope that that's planned because otherwise that's very reckless.
But let's talk about Edwards for a little bit, and I'll get through the next couple real quick so we get into Portland. But like, for what it's worth, like Edwards had a better game than against
his best game so far.
I think he was influential, especially going forward. Again, left back players going forward. Maybe by design. We're hoping by design, but I think he had a better game. I think my guy needs a limpia, bro. He needs to go Brujo Mayor and just get fucking hit with the rama a couple times, huevo en la cabeza and all that shit, dog. Because like that would just like again like in that goal, I think is like bad luck, right? Like if he has his feet set or he can clear that ball or get out the way or shield or something, but he doesn't. He never does. Where we get scored on, that ball bounces off of him and it goes back into the middle. Forcing Neil to come out and put in that tackle. He has bad luck, but I think he had a solid game. I think he had a solid game.
You know what? I y'all know me. I love Edwards. I'm a good fan. But I'm gonna put him on the same boat with Efra. You had two really bad games, and now we're comparing it to a game that you didn't fuck up as much. So I want to see more of this. I call him soft for knowing that a left back was coming and his play went down. Keep going, but I think you lose your spot. I think your spot's lost.
Go ahead.
But I think that's why I highly and think that's why it's important, right? I think he did get affected by the talk of Ude being coming in, but then we saw him bounce back this game, right? And Ude might be coming in, but he's still a few weeks out, right? And then he has to get into the team or whatever. So we're gonna have to feature Edwards for a few games more. And I'm hoping we'll see more of this and less of what we had seen prior to this, right? Andrew, you had something to say.
Winger, how do you feel about him? Eddie was talking about this at halftime.
Who? Edwards is a winger?
Yeah, Eddie was talking about this.
Absolutely not.
Because I don't
break it down for you. Why not?
Because I don't think our team features a winger like he would be a winger, right? If he's situational and we're looking to do that, cool. I don't think the Galaxy is looking for a player like him to play winger right now. Like he
I know, but he was playing excessively out down that wing a lot, pushing up that way.
As a wingback.
By design, though.
Right, I get that. But if it was working, if we were dangerous in our opportunities, why not?
Because you're saying like here, or with him, if we go into a back three, and we have wingers and also those more center attacking midfielders, cool. But he doesn't get in. He doesn't get in before Boyd for me, right? Because that's what a position he would take.
Why not Boyd and Edwards right now?
Edwards?
Yeah, I mean, listen. As shitty as defending as Edwards has been in the pushing up, he's been dangerous more so than Chikinugi and Memo.
You know why? Because I think that defensive don't expect the left back to be that dangerous, so that's why he gets that type of space and that type of movement. Once you get put in those left wing roles, I think they're a little bit more precaution, and you have less of a space to work with, which is why we don't see Tyler Boyd or Efra get those one-on-ones that we see Edwards get, because they're the ones tracking towards the middle, which leaves the wing open. So the reason why Edwards is successful, quote unquote, is because the left wing backs are
attempting,
quote unquote, which is why the left wing backs are doing what they need to do and pushing in to leave that space open. So the reason why that he's successful, I don't think he'll make it into a left wing, but I think
I try. I don't know if I agree right now because it gives him freedom to. If he makes mistakes, he doesn't have to worry about tracking back.
But I don't. But I think he's reckless, right? And if you look at it, like you want.
How can you say it's reckless if him as a left wing back pushing up that far up by design or not is just as reckless, if not more reckless?
No, but it's not. But it's not, right? Because look at attacking when we attack, right? there's cohesiveness, and then you look to explode the behind the line, right? Like I don't think Edward has the patience to do that, right? Like or he accelerates because we've seen it, right? Like you seen him like flying down the wing, and he wants to do a 1-2, and his 1-2 is not there because it touches either 2 in front or 2 behind, and he's already running. I think we'll see glimpses of like what could have been a good play, but he always does that, like when he rushes things, or he's undecisive, or he, you know what I mean? Like it's that thing. I don't see it, but again, better than Efra.
Yeah, but that's where I'm at right now. That's
better
what I'm
than Efra?
comparing.
Like,
I'm comparing to what we have right now. That's my point.
Again, but long term, I'm have posted there over Edwards too.
I think that's where that's the direction it's headed.
It is definitely, but that's why I don't agree with Vanny's tactics. I don't agree with the way my man does it, because just because he's a good attacking defensive doesn't mean that he's going to be a good left wing back for you.
So okay, but
what
do you do then?
We don't have anything because we're in this position. So we don't have anything.
You sell Raheem then?
No, he's why would you sell Raheem? Something. Yeah. Listen.
Why do you need three left backs then?
Who's the other left back? Who's the other left back?
Jasper, Alden, and Edwards.
So you sell who? So you sell who in that, right? If you want a strong team to compete off fronts, if you
I'm
want
selling Edwards.
You're wild.
Over Gasper?
Because he takes up my international spot.
Over Gasper?
Because he takes up my international spot.
Yeah, over Gasper, you're selling
that's real depth. That's real depth right there, right? That's real depth.
Over Gasper,
he takes up an international spot.
Real depth with versatility, right? Like if we're talking like again, Edwards is in the bench. Right, and we have this game against Vancouver again, where like we're the better team. At least in my opinion, we're the better team, but we need someone to unlock it. And you throw Edwards out there, like he could do that. I believe it, right? Because even if what he does doesn't end up being productive and causing a goal or an assist, he's gonna be somebody the defense has to be aware of and go after him. Right? He's a good depth piece over Casper 100% of the time, right? Because if
I'm not saying does Leerdam take an international spot? Does Leerdam take an international spot?
No,
he
does not.
He doesn't?
He does not. No. He has a green card. He has a green card in Seattle.
I didn't know that Edwards costs us an international side. I thought he counts. He doesn't count. He's Canadian.
Nah, they count. In the US, they count.
So if you have Americans playing for any of the 3 Canadian teams, you're going to count as international, even though you're playing in the MLS?
They don't count as international because it's American League.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's a badass rule.
Well, that's
just the Canadian teams that are playing. Take
the sporting out of it, right? Take the sporting side of it. Like as a business, you can't hire somebody who doesn't have appropriate work permits to work in the country, right? That's all it is. So that's why they have to cut. That's why they're international.
Yeah, but you smoke him outside to think that Raheem goes over Gasper.
Whatever. Fucking.
I'm not saying that Raheem is better. I'm just saying I'm selling because of the international spot. What the fuck? I need 3 left backs.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the international spot because it gives me versatility. Because it's a dope that piece. Because I want my team to compete in all 3 in all the competitions have, and that's a player
that even want to play in the wing.
Yeah, I don't. Not full time. Not full time.
He's not. We're not talking full time. I'm just saying he's gonna end up.
I'm talking about right now because of what we have right now.
And what I end up saying, I said over Efra, right? Because I'm not necessarily opposed to it over Efra, but if that's the bar we're saying, like over Efra, right?
It's over what we have right now.
Who's starting right now, Efra?
Okay, so I said, so I said, I would entertain it. I don't like it, but I entertain it because this is Efra. Because and now it's because of Vanny. Okay.
Fucking move on.
Let's go. Closing thoughts on the game versus Vancouver home opener 1-1 draw. Putting us up to how many points is that now? We have 2 points.
2 points.
Let me do the math real quick. We have 2 points, putting us up in 12th place in the league. Closing thoughts on the game versus Vancouver.
Get Vanny out.
Masa, Angel, somebody give me something.
Closing thoughts on Vancouver was Leerdam was solid again.
Okay.
And he's going to get benched.
Yeah. And he's going to bench.
I think he had a much better game.
Yep, I agree. I thought midfield had a really good game.
Oh, the 3? Yeah, I think the 3 were solid. Mm-hmm.
Just because you touched on that, go for it, Masa. What'd you say? You cut off there.
Ricky had a great game. My only issue with Ricky this game was he's forcing.
He loses the ball sometimes too easy, because he's trying to force the gas. That's crazy.
Listen, it looks, he's forcing it, right? But then when he pings that 40-yard fucking through ball that cuts through the defense, is those plays, right? Like it's not always gonna come out, but like I want him to try because he
No,
has the
I'm
skill
not,
for it. You know what I mean?
I'm not that mad at the pass. I just feel like sometimes when he's forcing the shot, there's times when he's forcing the shot. Because fuck it, if you're gonna risk it to make a pass, hey bro, fuck it, you tried it. I'm happy with that. You gotta risk it to make plays, but the shot, he's forcing a shot that's not necessarily there,
All right,
and that's. I mean,
I want that.
I have no
Closing
complaints.
thoughts. That was my closing thought. Happy with the 3.
Sorry. I just wanted to shout out Delgado too, because Delgado I always thought it was gonna be our focused recovery guy putting in the tackles. I saw my guy get up and again he created and he's looking to do that too. And we have Brookman doing that too, and we have Puch doing that too. And these guys are falling back. I like our midfield. Let's move on to Portland.
I think Ricky's trying too hard to get the MVP. That's what it is. To be honest,
I'm okay with that.
He has that mindset. Yeah, but then it affects him, which is the thing that's happening right now.
How's it?
He's trying too hard.
He wants to be MVP.
He's doing too much.
I want him to do too much because you know that kid has a skill for it. And more often than not, he's gonna find the right pass. More often than not,
there's gonna be a time where we're gonna need him to make that pass, and he's doing the shot.
Nah. Ricky's smart enough. You figure it out, dog. You get Costa next to him. You get Cheech next to him. Boyd maybe, right? Brookman the way he's playing. Brookman the way he's playing. Delgado the way he's playing. You get my left back and my right back, who hopefully are better than what we have right now. You got Neil bonding up with that. We're gonna be all right. We got Klinsmann who's gonna bench bond. I don't know about that. That's just too far.
I'm just
saying. You know what I mean? Like, listen, you bugging. Pooch is gonna be MVP, dog.
Okay.
Fuck out of here. Let's go. Let's talk about Portland. Let's talk about Portland.
Damn.
We're gonna be missing. We're away at Portland Saturday at 13:30. What time? No, Saturday at Portland without Leardom, without Jolik, without our fifth string center back. All right, the first two are real something. Let's talk about lineups first. Let's just go and tackle that, right? It's Tuesday. Any word on Cheech training yet?
Yeah, he's been training.
Yeah, he's with the team.
Both of them have been training up to the site.
Yeah, both of them training.
No, but are they with the team? Because Vanny said or I think maybe last week, at the end of last week, that they were expected to start training with the team on Monday, or Cheech was supposed to start training with the team this week. So hopefully he's there. So that might be an immediate replacement. Talk to me. What are we thinking here? What's up?
It's still the beginning of the week when you think about it. We still have tomorrow.
It is. It's Tuesday. Bond though, right? Like Bond's a shoulder injury.
Give him as much time as he needs.
Like shoulder injury.
Yeah.
As a keeper, anytime you try to reach up, bro, you know what I mean? Like that ain't gonna happen. Or there's gonna be a flinch in there. So
shit, as a human being.
Yeah. Klinsmann, right? Klinsmann at goal.
Yes. Yeah.
Our shiny boy Neo at center back, paired up with old man Casares. Left back we have
in the dream.
Right back we have
Calegari.
New guy, bro. Could be a new guy. You didn't play him this past week, or it could be in his debut. He's gonna have a second week already with the squad. That's it.
Sick as Vanny starting him on a fucking turf. Badass.
Yep. Wait, don't they have grass now?
Portland?
Yeah. They still have turf? Okay.
It's funny. It's Portland too, right? Like green ass fucking state and
yeah, that's true.
And turf. Yep. All right. Our midfield ain't moving at all, right?
Don't touch it.
Puch, Brookman, Delgado, Boston, Boyd. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Boyd out left.
Memo,
huh? I think it's gonna be Efra.
It's gonna be
I don't want it to be Efra.
It's gonna be Efra.
But I know the coach that we have, and I know his mindset is gonna be Efra.
Who I want is Paris, but the coach that we have
starting
Paris ain't gonna happen though. Yeah,
bro, you're on the road. You're away from home.
No, it's early in the season. You want to get some traction. I wouldn't do it.
Right? Experiment early in the season.
Especially when we have other cups this year too. So like I experiment there.
But we're not gonna win. So what's the big deal?
So experiment there. Like throw them there then. If we're not gonna win, I'm okay with that. Like throw them there. Yeah. Give them the minutes there. But so I'm saying Efra. Andrew, you're saying Efra. George, you're going with.
I want Memo, but I know it's gonna be Efra because Vanny's an idiot.
So what do we do up top? Let's say Cheech gets a full week. We're not looking at Cheech at top.
Fuck no, absolutely not.
You let Preston go, bro.
Nope. Give it to Judd.
That'd be interesting. I think Cheech is gonna do it. I think Cheech.
I hope it's Judd.
I wouldn't be mad at seeing that.
I hope it's gonna be Judd. Preston, guaranteed.
What do we think of that then? Right? If that's the team, if it's our new right back and it's Preston, a striker.
Boat.
What's up? What was that? Say again?
Judd hat trick. Shout out Boat.
Oh yeah. That fool fucking flip out.
The same boat that wanted the Cabral hat trick?
Yeah, but Remy though. Okay. Remy was close. Remy was close though. Okay. What are we thinking? Like, what are we thinking? Right? Portland just got their ass whipped by a really good Atlanta.
Really good.
By Almada's fucking Atlanta right now. Sheesh, man. Fuck. MVP. Wrong team. We'll talk about it when we play Atlanta. Portland. They just got worked, but again, it's Atlanta, and I think they're really balling out right now. What are we thinking? Right, like it's a new right back. It's gonna be Preston. At least we believe that's the case. What are we thinking at Portland? What are we thinking? Give me some.
What do you want?
Nothing, to be honest with you, a lot of excuses.
What do we see?
A lot of excuses. The fact that we don't have our starter up top. We have a new player. Honestly, I don't know. Ricky needs to control this game once again. We need to find Brugman needs to show up for us. I'm not saying he hasn't, but I think it's going to fall on our midfield because I don't see our wings doing anything, and I don't see our forward doing anything unless we put him into a good position, which we could. That's the dangerous spot right there. Getting that through ball to our forward and Preston Judd's playing. He knows how to make the runs to goal. Yeah. Get that first touch on you, man. Get that first touch on you. That's gonna set you up and just shoot.
Yeah,
I think we still a point if we can.
I think that's the one thing I'm really looking forward to see if it is him starting from the jump, is because he's a different striker. He's a different type of striker just in general, right? From what we have with Joveljic and Cheech. So like I'm really interested in how that works out. What's the dynamic there? Yeah, man. Listen, it's I don't know. I know we haven't looked apart, right? I know we haven't looked apart, but Portland in 4 games, right? 3 L's and 1 dub have let in 10 goals.
Who have they played? Goals. Atlanta.
Huh? They got a dub. Yeah, they got a dub. 1-0 over KC. They lost 3-2 against Levas. They lost 1-2 versus St. Louis, which was a monster team right now as well. And 5-1 versus Atlanta just this weekend. They're gonna want to come out and do something at home, right? Like they just got trashed. They have to find a bounce back. Yeah, no. What do we see from Portland? What do we see from them? They have something. They can beat us. Can we beat them? I know George saying.
Yeah, I don't know how to call this game, man. Because
we're losing.
Portland's so inconsistent. Sure. They're so inconsistent. They have good players. Sometimes they play well, and then sometimes they play Atlanta bad. But then, you go to LAFC and you make it close 3-2. That also speaks for itself, They didn't go to, but they did beat SKC at home. Mm-hmm. They lose at home to St. Louis. A solid game. I still think Portland maybe was a better team. So I don't know what to tell you.
No shit.
I really don't know what to tell you.
Well, here's something, right?
If you want my opinion, we're going to jump into it. I mean, I'd say we're calling for another draw in this game. Another draw in this game. That's what I see out of it.
Gio just posted on the chat. He's talking about he thinks it's gonna be a midfield battle, right?
Their midfield
consists of Williamson, Chara, and Evander. Evander's like a young kid who balls, versus our young kid who balls in Puig, Delgado, and Brugman. What do you guys see there? Is there a midfield battle there, or do you think we have the upper hand in that?
I think we have the upper hand. But then my thing in it. Can we score goals with Preston Judd? Right? Can we score goals with Cheeky Noogie? And it's not to press and judge. No, no, no. I think he's solid. So far, he's shown us he's a little fucking tank. But it's the rest of them. Have we shown enough right now to create away from home? Because they're gonna have their moments, and are we gonna do enough to hold that? I mean, listen, defensively, I hope Cagliari ends up working out. But it's right now we have to wait and see. Do I feel good about our back pairing? Absolutely. When Caceres and
Neil
and that's the bright spot for me. So at very minimum, I don't see us conceding 3 goals in this game.
2,
I can see that. I don't see 3, 4, 5. We've lost there before 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah.
So I just don't see it happening this time, right? Especially also because we've been talking about our center 3, especially in Brugman. And that support, right? In the ankle, he's been fine. He's been solid.
I think it's gonna be huge on Marky Delgado and Brugman because Ricky Puig is going to get hurt. I think that's the way you stop the guy.
Can you chill? What the fuck?
No, hurt. Like they're gonna push. They're gonna toss him a lot. That's the way to stop the Galaxy in the midfield. To be honest with you, teams have started to figure out that you put a body on him. You put a body on him. You get so Brugman
he's elusive
and Marky Delgado. Yeah, he is until he's not.
Yeah,
and
okay. Well, why would you say until he's not though?
Brugman and Marky Delgado.
Okay. I think that's just gonna go down the wrong path. Angel, you brought up, or I think George, you brought up like we lost to Portland at Portland before, and actually we've lost the last 3 times we've gone up there, right?
There you go.
In 2022,
no,
it was
we
1-3
tied last year, and it was like a big deal because we actually tied on the road.
Nope.
I thought we beat them last year.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm lying to you. You're right. We won last year. I read that wrong. We won last year.
We won the last couple games against Portland.
Oh yeah, at Portland though we won last year, but we lost the last 2 that prior to that by big margins, 3-0 and 5-2. We have won at home the last 2, and then we tied them and won at home last year. Chara, I think Chara to me in that midfield is going to be key because George, to your point, if there's somebody who could stick to Puig and know how to make a foul when he needs to make a foul, it's going to be Chara. All right, like Chara's one of the experienced players who has enough in his legs still to catch up to Puig if he needs to, and understands when to make a foul to stop a play. Right. So I think he's the one that's influential. I want to see what that kid Evander does, because there's hype around him. I want to see if he's actually any good, and hopefully he's not, and hopefully Neil can fucking Neil in the midfield can stop him from creating anything. Let's go with predictions. I know we've been talking about like results, but like let's go predictions. Give me scorelines. Actually, before we do that, last week did you guys call draws or did you guys call else?
Yeah, I called draw.
They call the draw.
So Angel's always gonna call the correct thing. You could call the wrong thing, and he's gonna
listen to the game, bitch.
We got tapes. Yeah, we got tapes. We got
receipts. I don't know if I can act like if I'm gonna say, go listen. Then come back.
No one's gonna go listen.
Right. That's on you.
We're losing 3-1. There's my prediction. 3-1. We're losing
3-1 now.
Huh?
That's fuck Neil, huh? Like when he's gonna fuck up, I see it. I see you, George. You're the worst. Angel, give me something a little better than that. I don't know. Look, I'm asking.
We go out there and we win again. I don't think it's going to do a back-to-back seasons where we beat them in Portland. But I also don't think we're going to lose. So I'd say we get a draw out of this. I'll go back with a 2-2.
2-2.
Who scores for you?
Yeah. Who scores?
Okay. David Bingham on goal. And
yeah.
and shit. I go, fuck it. He's been doing well, so hopefully he gets rewarded with a goal out there.
Who was that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Preston.
Yeah, I'll fuck with that. Masa, give me some.
I forgot they had David Bingham, so we're winning 2-1.
Nah, man, see, that's a scary part about it.
If we win with a David Bingham moment, that'd be great. But then if we lose because he had a David Bingham moment, I'm gonna be pissed.
Hey, to be fair, the last game I watched from Portland, he balled out. I forgot who the fuck they were playing against.
But, they played against KC.
Oh yeah, he balled out. Yeah, I think it was KC. But yeah, 2-1 because he's playing.
The last game they played was Atlanta. They got some.
No, the last game
Bingham wasn't a goal.
Oh,
yeah, and Bingham wasn't a goal against Atlanta. I'm not sure why that was, but he wasn't a goal. Like I said,
They knew it was coming.
We're winning 2-1. If he's not playing, we 1-1. So
oh fuck, here we go. We're gonna go out Portland and win 2-1. And it's gonna be. It's gonna be.
I hope you're right.
Watch, peep this, right? Peep this. It's gonna be 2 goals from Pooch, from 2 assists from Preston. Watch. Preston is gonna be on setting up. Preston's gonna be on setting up Pooch stuff for these goals. See it, dog. I see it happening. Listen,
Galaxy the 4th game in the season with a no win.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's why we win. I know the team is not built, but for the Western Conference, for the MLS, I think that this team has enough to get a dub right now with the players we have right now. I really liked what Boy brought, like what the impact that he had in the game, and I think he replicated against Portland. 2-1. We're getting a dub there. Please. That's gonna be Saturday. We got questions. Do we have questions today, or are we calling it a wrap because it's already 10:49?
I did a couple things just really quick here.
All right, let me
real quick.
Yeah, for sure. It's Erica Sosa. Efra, he's terrible. And he sorry. Oopsie.
You're good. Go for it.
All right, now we're good. All right. On Instagram, it's Eric Sosa. Efra, he's terrible. Any value in him? Could we get rid of him in an intra-league trade? Is that even possible right now? Those are right.
Just in the summer too.
I don't think anybody takes him.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Efra is fucking
chop liver.
Okay. Now, so you know what we need? In my opinion, I think we need Efra to have a string of games like he had on Saturday, right? And then we sell him for like 500 gam. But you know what I mean, like it's gonna be a drop from like that Chivas 10 million or whatever at one point. Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
And it's Eric Sosa. So he follows up. It's Eric Sosa. And do you think Efra is gone by the start of next season? That's the question I do want to address.
What
do you guys think? Does he come back next season?
If he's still here next season, we protest him back-to-back seasons.
I'm saying because Rudy was when we get talking about 2-4 halftime and we give him number 7 to showcase him and blah blah blah.
Well, it would be unexcusable, right? Like he's in 700K or something like that. Like I think that's the number that was on the tweet that I saw. He's in 700K. Like and that's not like with him getting like the point that Calegari was trying to get across was that he's not getting a raise, but he is at like 700K or something like that. That means that next year, like just by default, like he would get a little bit more, and it's already outrageous that he's making 700K. So
he's making 700K.
Yep.
I hope he saves his money. I really hope that he has a good financial manager.
Good financial advisor. Yes, 100%. I mean, good on him. Listen, good on him for bamboozling the Galaxy, making the money because we're good at that. We're good at just giving out the money to these players who don't deserve it. So good for him for getting one off of Gio's books, off of Steven Gerrard's, off of everyone's books on how to make money off of the Galaxy. Good for him. Yes, financially and for your personal life, fuck yeah, young man. Yes. Now go open Starbucks or something and make some.
Yeah, go get a franchise, dog. You solid, son.
Absolutely. Think about your kids, think about your family. But bro, this is unbelievable.
That buys a lot of chicken nuggets. Y'all fucking.
That's a lot of chicken nuggets.
Y'all cold-blooded.
Don't buy him. He can't buy himself a McDonald's. He should buy himself like a Jamba Juice or some shit because he's gonna. We're not
bashing. Nah, you were on there too. You negative.
Let me stop. I'm not trying to be that person. I'm not trying to be that person. See, you try to get me to do that. You try to get me to do that. No, I'm done.
Big side note. Apparently, your brother told Saldana that he's.
Oh my! No! Don't disclose it because that conversation happened between. But yeah, my brother had a conversation with Saldana, right? It was Saldana who was out there. And it was quite comical. So if you guys know Germs, and you guys catch him whenever you catch him, ask him about that. Ask Gloria. Gloria was there too. She was telling me about it.
All right, fine.
I was tearing up. I'll take offline if you don't know.
All I gotta say is that apparently Saldana and Chicken Noogie are homies, like really tight.
Homies.
That's all I'm gonna say. All right.
But that conversation is staying there. 700K, dog. He cannot be in the team next year.
I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, like
Will Kuntz, fucking gives him the boot, dog. Because fuck, man,
bro, you're
I
gonna walk in
swear.
there.
I would.
He's gonna walk in there like,
walking
what the
out, bitch,
fuck?
I'm
Like you
like-
paying this for this much?
How much you making?
Fuck
How
out
long
of
you
here.
been here? How
I'm
many
gonna slide
months
you
you
in
work?
right quick. Let me see. Do you finish this medium? Let's start off with this. Do you finish this medium?
Fuck out of here, man.
I hope.
Man.
I hope.
I
Jesus Christ.
And one
Next
more,
question.
Lord period Roro period Rodriguez. What are the plans
Roro.
from the East for Traffico coming up in a few weeks? Still empty? I have no idea. Where we at with that?
Yep. Again, we've been kind of referencing this throughout the 4 weeks been on. Like, we're not necessarily in the know anymore when it comes to like the in workings with the SGs right now. Keep an eye on socials, keep an eye on Discord. I know the SGs.
You guys talked about earlier. What's his name? Kuntz? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that could be something. Good. That could be something. I don't know. That could be something.
Yeah. Again, we don't have anything we would say right now. It's just speculation because we don't have any information of that.
Yep. And then Nelson Ariasa. Love y'all. Me too.
We love you too, man. Thanks for fucking with us.
Me too.
I was
anything on
about to get
Discord?
toxic real quick. My bad.
Anything on Discord? Massa George.
No, I don't think there was anything.
No.
You guys are goddamn.
Okay,
I'm just looking at the questions right now.
Danger TRL wants to know if Klinsman and Goal a downgrade, upgrade? Does he have the potential to be an upgrade? We kind of answered that. Me and Massa don't feel like he's much of a downgrade. Rudy said vocally it could be a downgrade. Angel, I couldn't hear him because his audio was trash.
So let's answer this though, right? Does he have the potential to be an upgrade? And not a long answer, just kind of yay or nay on this one.
Yes.
Yes. Klinsman.
Yes, potentially
yes. I agree with that. All
right.
One more thing.
And part two, this question is for Angel. Fuck. Should Pettis be playing over Memo? He already lost minutes to Cabral and Costa last year. Should be behind Memo in the depth chart, considering Pettis also has a new contract.
Well, first of all, just before saying anything, before saying anything, Paris didn't necessarily lose out to Cabral last year. He was injured through a big part of last year, so that's why.
Yeah, he was. True.
He didn't get that.
We talked about Vanny. I think George was a big one on this one. That Danny's gonna die by his sword. On the Cabral thing, he was until the very end. Right, Cabral's gonna be his guy. So even then, I don't necessarily think that would have been a factor. But this year, listen, you give him a contract extension. Massa was on here talking last year about that he's not coming back. That I don't know who told him that his mama told them that he's not coming back because he's going to fucking Bayern Munich.
Mi niño se va a ir para Barcelona también.
Yeah. So obviously it didn't happen. We kept him, and I thought that was the best acquisition we did this offseason. Up until that, some that we've had recently, right, for obvious reasons. But in the offseason, that we talked about, that was my biggest, and we talked about this at the beginning of the year in the first pod, that was my biggest acquisition, is just the fact that we retained him. So if you retain him, and we were talking about Chiqui Nugi as a player that you want to showcase, if your intention was to retain Perez for the fact that you want to sell him later, well, you also have to showcase him then. Well, so at some point, you have to play him, right?
Yeah, that part, right? I really hope again. We have multiple competition this year, which is a good thing. But I'm hoping we see him feature often and shit, right? Because Neo's a hot prospect. He's a shiny boy, and I love it. But I think Paris could get to that stature too. There's glimpses of him where we're missing that. We're missing some of the explosiveness. We're missing some of that aggressiveness that he could do in the attacking front. I want to see him. So hopefully, yeah, we do get to see him feature in quite often this year.
That was it for Discord.
All right, then we good.
Dope, man. Again, thanks so much for fucking with us. Thank you for tuning in. For all you guys who are on the chat today and on right now, 11 o'clock, y'all still here. Love y'all. Thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe, share our podcast when it goes up. That being said, it's another episode of Straight from the Stance. I'm your boy Rudy. I'm Smarts on Twitch. I'm Smarts on Twitter. I'm Smarts on the gram.
Follow me at Red Rising.
Follow me at what's Jeremy's Instagram, so people are gonna go ask him questions, or Gloria.
Jerem's 90.
Jerem's 90 or Gloria's. Go look for it. There you go.
Peace, love, and Jesus.